privilege this evening to be honoring Susan Crowder as she retires from a career actually of 39 years in public education. Susan's such an amazing person. Not only is she a talented professional, she's known for her integrity, her intelligence, her leadership, and she's just a class act. If you know anything about Susan, you also know that she has other talents. She's a fabulous cook. She makes crafts and projects to die for. She's extremely good at throwing parties and gatherings, and I have a little story about that. In fact, I often say to my HR staff, when I grow up, I want to be Susan Crowder because I admire her so much. The story came to me from Becky Freeman about what a good hostess Susan is. And apparently one evening they were both working late and it got to be dinner time, and apparently Danny, Susan's husband, called and asked her if she would go to dinner. And Susan said, sure. So she invited Becky Freeman to go along with her, and Susan knows what's coming. And so they have a great dinner, but Becky kind of notices that when Danny picked him up, he was kind of chuckling, and she thought, well, what's up, you know? And so the dinner was nice, and Susan goes home, and lo and behold, she finds on the table a card, and it was her anniversary. And Danny's kind of like, well, I wasn't sure why you invited someone to go with us, but really that's the kind of caring, yeah, I know. It's the kind of caring person that Susan is. She's always thinking about other people, but she truly is a class act. Susan began her career in teaching in 1977. She's taught in Lawton, in Jenks, in Louisville, Texas, and she also taught in Edmond and then became an assistant principal in Edmond before we were lucky and got her here at Union at the 6th, 7th grade center as an assistant principal. Susan's also been a principal at Darnaby, and then she came to the ESC to work with various programs. She's been a director over programs like Gifted and Talented, RSA. She's been in charge of summer schools. She's worked with Title I, community education. And of course, we all know that for most of those years at the ESC, Susan also spearheaded the United Way initiative, and it's been so fabulous. I'll tell you, everything Susan sets her mind to, she tackles, and she performs with excellence. She's just that kind of individual. I've had the privilege of working with Susan since 2012, when we were lucky enough to get Susan in the HR department. She came in and tackled teacher leader effectiveness evaluations, fondly known as TLE, and she built that from the ground up. You just have to give Susan a project and she's off and running. Not only did she get this evaluation system itself, the processes implemented throughout the district, but she also implemented the software platform that not only the Tulsa model is on, but also the McCrell model. And she's just that hands-on kind of service-oriented professional. She did the training of teachers herself. She's facilitated all the training for the administrators. She's recognized by the State Department of Education as actually a leader in the TLE area. They've appointed her to several committees. They seek her input. She's helped develop several modules to the TLE. So that's just how effective and fabulous Susan is at her job, no matter what her assignment is. They actually called Susan from Tulsa Public and they said, Susan, we don't know how you're doing this. There are 5 of us. We don't do any training. We kind of sit in the office and take care of things in the office. We don't even know how you're doing this as one person. I know how she's doing it. She's doing it because of dedication and her extreme passion for this district and her high work ethic. I saw a quote the other day, and I actually agree with this quote. It says, "Life is not important except in the impact that it has on others." So Susan, using that as a measure, you have been greatly successful. You've had an impact on students, on parents, on this district, on the community, and in the education arena in general. So we thank you very, very much for all of your service. 21 years actually here in Union. And we wish you the very best. I know that we'll miss your talents and your presence here, but your impact goes on. And so we say thank you, and we wish you the best in retirement, and may your dreams continue to be fulfilled.
Okay, Susan, where are you at? I'm sorry. Okay, you got to come up and stand, and I apologize. I should have had her up here to begin with. I'm going to probably make all of you stand up here, I guess, as we go through this. But I would also just like to say Susan is really, truly an amazingly talented individual, and I know she has been responsible for the last several years for our United Way campaign, of which you know has been very near and dear to our hearts. I think Dr. Burden is to be credited certainly for starting this type of commitment that we had to this program. Your first year, I think we raised, I'm wanting to say, well, it was 20,000 maybe. This past year, we hit a record of just shy of $220,000. Truly amazing, but this is the person and this is the reason why we hit that amazing goal. And so, Susan, I thank you very much for your commitment, not only to this district. You have left an indelible mark on this organization, but certainly also to the United Way campaign. So thank you so much. So, you want to say a few words?
A few words. Thanks. First of all, you all know that you don't do anything in this district by yourself, and thank goodness. There are always lots of great people who join in any of the efforts that we do. So thank you to all of you. You want to talk about United Way campaign, it's not Susan Crowder. It's every single one of you who every year without question say, we just do this. Many of the things that we do in Union, we just do this because it's who we are. So to all of you who've been a part of my life for 21 years in Union, you are loved. I am thankful for the many friends that I've made. I'm thankful for the support that I've had along the way, the opportunities I've had along the way. I have been one lucky and blessed gal to be in this district to end my career. End my career? I'm just telling you, if you are not close to my age, this comes super fast. If you're in your 30s and 40s and you think, oh my gosh, this day will never come. Yeah, it will. It's going to come faster than you think it does, and it's kind of surreal. You can't believe it's really you. It's really me. I do want to take a minute to say, oh, by the way, Becky Freeman has an invitation every May 20th for our anniversary. Jiminy. Oh my goodness. I will never live that down, ever. Do one thing wrong. Do a million things right, but do one thing wrong and they never forget. I do want to take a minute to introduce my family. It was actually David Young who said a couple of weeks ago, do you have a plan when you retire? And I said, well, I'm looking forward to not having a plan. And then I said, you don't know my family. They are the plan. I'm going to be a better wife, a better mother, a better grandmother, and a better friend because I'll have time to do more of that. So with just real quickly, I want to introduce my family. Danny, where are you? Danny? You guys stand up. You guys stand. There's Danny. And Kathleen and Brock, my daughter and son-in-law, and Lizzie and Emmy. Come here. Oh, she's not going to come. She's being bashful. Emily, and then Dr. and Mrs. Crowder, Emily and Chris Crowder, and Corinne and Everett. And Shay is not here, but Shay is also part of our family. So I just want to say, I love them, and they have made it possible for me to do the things that I've done. And I'm not going to have to run at the last minute out the door to get to the things they need me to be at. I'm going to be there. Travel, maybe. Them, 100%. I don't know if they'll be crazy about it, but I'm crazy about it. So thank you, thank you.